everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. I'm really excited about today's video. I have been talking about this for a couple of times here on my channel and it is finally happening. We will start my makeup collection move. So this room has been my makeup and wardrobe room. However, now our son is going to get this room and I will need to move my stuff to our bedroom. And today we will start by emptying my vanity. I'm probably going to do some decluttering. By the way, this is the mom vanity from IKEA. When we lived in our old apartment, I did have the whole thing with Alex drawers filled with makeup, and my dream was to get my makeup collection into one drawer vanity. I was able to do that when we moved, but this is not necessarily my favorite. I personally do not like this glass. If I clean this vanity, there goes some water like between the glass and the actual table, and it's really annoying. It's really difficult to get out there. Let's actually start with the fact that I do want to move my collection towards having only one bag full of makeup and that's it. Maybe some palettes set aside that I don't use all the times, but basically when I do my makeup on a daily basis I want it all to be in a makeup bag, and we are now going to try that out. I do have here this makeup bag. Blue is particularly a color that I don't like that much, and this is such a cool toned piece. I don't feel it kinda goes to my aesthetic, but I have actually thrifted a makeup bag. So this one, it's such a beautiful makeup bag. I only paid a couple of euros for this one. This is actually from Clarins. So this is where I'm now going to put most of my makeup, and this makeup bag, it is brand new. I actually was gifted this makeup bag, but unfortunately I just don't like the color. So this one I am going to declutter. So I do have here this container. What I have here right now is all of my complexion products and my cheek products. These are something that I do want to put to my makeup bag. However, there's so much stuff that I'm not able to fit all of that there. So I'm going to pick there what I need for a full face of makeup, but some things I'm going to put away. I'm actually going to take from here. We are going to go through the drawer once we have gone through the top, but I'm going to take from here a basket. I do have here 3 face primers. I do have the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This is a really nice primer, however this is really hydrating and we are now already in the season when I cannot wear hydrating primer. I will get really oily, so this will go to wait for the next winter. Then I do have the Huda Beauty Glowish Blur Jam Primer, and this one is a nice blurring primer without silicone. And this is something I want to use in summer. However, before that I would actually like to finish this Catrice Sensational Primer. There's not too much left in here. So I'm going to put the Huda Beauty Primer to wait, and this Catrice Primer I'm going to put to the makeup bag. Then foundation. I do have here currently 3 foundations. And I do have here 2 of these Essence Fresh and Fit foundations. I do have the shade 05 Fresh Porcelain. This is too light for me, so I mix it in with the shade 10 Fresh Ivory. And this one is a really nice foundation for me in winter. This is not the most long lasting, but in winter this wears really well on me when my skin is more normal. However, there is really little bit left in the lighter shade, and also there is not much left in the darker shade either, so I do want to finish these first. I think it's probably going to take about a month that I'm able to go through these. So I will put these into the makeup bag. Hopefully I can finish them before it gets really warm. Then I do have here the Catrice True Skin Foundation, which is more full coverage, more long lasting, but it's not really matte, it's more like a satin finish. So this one I'm going to put now away. Then I do have here 2 concealers and 1 under eye color corrector. At the moment I'm trying to finish my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one is really full coverage. So with this one I don't need under eye corrector. I do have the Becca and Smashbox one. So I'm going to put this away. Then I do have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. This one is a really nice concealer, really hydrating but still good coverage. I really do enjoy this, but I will try to finish that Too Faced concealer first. So this is now going away and the Too Faced concealer will go to the makeup bag. Then let's talk about powder. I actually think that I do have too much powder. I do have 4. The powder that I'm trying to finish right now is this Rodial glass powder. It sounds amazing and it is a nice powder, but it doesn't really give your skin that glass look. There's not too much left, so this is the powder that I use at the moment to set my under eye and also to set my face. So this will go to the makeup bag. Another loose powder that I have is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This one I'm going to put now away. Then I do have here 2 pressed powders. So the Balm Sexy Mama powder. This one is something that I only use for touch-ups. I don't think this is too great for setting your face, but for touch-ups this is really nice. And I use it with this Real Techniques brush. The brush actually needs to be washed. Where should I put my brushes that need washing? I'm going to take this towel. This is something where I just wipe my brushes if they do have like some eyeshadow or something there. This Sexy Mama powder I will put into this makeup bag. This is something that I take with me if I go to work, for example. If I do have a smaller bag, I don't take this whole thing with me. Instead, I pick from here whatever I need, but I do have here stuff like painkiller, tangle teaser, bubble gum, some feminine hygiene products. So I will put this powder right here. This makeup bag I'm going to put aside. It's something that I typically store on top of my vanity. Okay, then we do have here the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch setting powder. So this one is the pressed one. They also do have a loose version of this. And for a longer time I have wanted to have a lighter colored powder to set my under eye to give some brightness for me on that area. So I got this one in the set Pound Cake. It is a light, kind of like a skin tone leaning yellow. I used for years the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. However, that packaging drives me crazy because it always breaks before I'm able to finish the powder. So I purchased this one and I do think it's a nice powder, but now I'm starting to question if I really do need a different powder for setting my under eye, because something like the Rodial powder or the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, they also work really well on the under eye area, so there's no need for me to necessarily have a separate powder for that. However, now that I have this, I'm going to keep this, but at least for right now I'm going to put that away. Then I do have setting spray. I do have 2 from Urban Decay, the All Nighter and the All Nighter Extra Glow. I'm going to pick the Extra Glow one right now to my makeup bag. I don't think, however, that I'm able to finish this before we get really into the warm weather, but we are not there quite yet, so I do want to use this one right now. And then in the summer I will try to finish the original all-nighter. It really helps with the makeup staying on place. I do have here this Real Techniques makeup sponge. Oh, this one is a little bit wet, so I would like to let it dry in the air. Maybe I will take this takeaway makeup bag of mine and open it and put this one there so it can dry there. Then I do have my cheek products here. As you see, I don't have a lot, but I do have couple in a magnetic palette later. But in here I do have the Charlotte Tilbury Nude palette. So this palette comes with 2 bronzers, 1 blush and 1 highlighter. I'm not really using this palette right now because I am panning products from all of these categories. So what I'm going to do with this palette is that I'm going to put it here. There is a container for palettes. Let's see, I do have here 2 bronzers. The Benegos Natural Fresh Bronzing Duo and the Too Faced Sweethearts Bronzer. These are both in my project pan right now. The past couple of months I didn't really use the Benegos one at all, but now I'm actually using it if I'm just at home. If I go somewhere I use the Too Faced one because I like it better, but I will put both of these into my makeup bag. I don't have here any blush. In the Benegos one there is also a blush. It's like a bronzer and blush duo, but I mainly use the bronzer. But then the rest of my blushes are in the magnetic palette. But I do have here some highlighters and I think we are going to declutter this one. I'm really sad about this, but this is just not my kind of product. This is the Huda Beauty Mini Glow Obsessions in the shade Light Glow. Okay, so here you can see it comes with 4 different highlighter colors. I talked about this in my cheek product project pan, but I don't really even like a really blinding highlighter on myself anymore. I don't think these are super blinding necessarily, but they are on a stronger side and I prefer a really natural highlighter. Then if I'm going for a stronger highlighter, I do have formulas that I like better in my collection. But another thing is that there's stuff in here that I really don't like or don't use that much. The light yellow gold is really pale, and even though I do have light skin, this is so pale that I don't like to use something this light on my face necessarily. The pink I absolutely hate. I do not like pink makeup on myself. Then there is the peach one. That's probably my favorite from all of these, but when it comes to peachy highlighter, I do have this Becca Champagne Pop. I way prefer this one over the Huda Beauty one. Then there is this bronzy shade over here, which is pretty. But this one is for me way too dark unless I do have a proper tan, and honestly here in Finland I don't get that tanned. I'm going to declutter this one. This is pretty new. I bought it Black Friday last year, so I will try to find a new home for this. But yeah, other highlighters I had here the Becca and Smashbox Champagne Glow highlighter. This is a really cult classic at this point, and in my opinion, the best blinding highlighter formula out there is the Becca one. It's still kind of smooth and easy to blend, so I'm really glad that Smashbox took this Becca highlighter formula to their collection. I will put that to the makeup bag. Then my favorite highlighter of all times, the Essence Pure Nude highlighter in Be My Highlight. This is what I'm wearing today, and I just absolutely love this highlighter. This is so gorgeous, soft and gently glowy highlighter. I will put it here to the makeup bag. That's what I use almost every day now. So now this is empty. It needs to be cleaned. I don't know if I have any other purpose for this one. I thought that maybe I could store some perfumes here later, but I don't know. I will need to think about that. Okay, so next we do have here this skincare tray. There's also like one hair product. This is the Paul Mitchell Extra Body Thicken Up. Most of my hair products I do store here on the drawer, but this is so low that's why I do want to store it standing, so I actually can get some product out. This is something I'm trying to finish. Then I do have here some skincare, and I have now decided to move my skincare to our bathroom. I think that this skincare tray adds to the clutter on top of my vanity. It was here during my pregnancies because during that time or those times I was so lazy doing my skincare, so I wanted to make life as easy as possible for me. Now it's time to move it back to my bathroom. I do have here a night cream. This one is from Mossa. SPF product. This one is from a brand Ivy Aya. You can get it from normal. Then I do have here an eye cream from Avril. I also do have here this sample from Akko. This one is like your fragrance-free basic moisturizer meant for body and face. I got this one from Neuvola. I have now used this one on my face if I use AHA. So those are my face creams. So the AHA serum, I typically use that only once a week. Then I do have a retinol. These are from a brand Pure and Care. Then what I use in the mornings is vitamin C serum. This one is also from Pure and Care. The rest of the serums I'm going to declutter because they are old. And skincare is something that I don't want to mess around with it. These only have like 6 months shelf life or whatever, and all of them are more than a year old. So I do have here the Ordinary Lactic Acid Serum. I actually do maybe prefer lactic acid as a chemical exfoliator over AHA. However, Pure and Care doesn't have lactic acid, so that's why I bought the AHA serum. Then I do have here from Q+A their Superfood Facial Oil. This one broke me out. In general, I do break out from oils pretty easily. An oil that has worked for me is the Ordinary Rosehip Seed Oil. That doesn't break me out, but this one is also old. These products, unfortunately, I will need to declutter. Then I do have here a ton of lip care. I don't know what brand this is, but this is something that I got from the Pipbox advent calendar or from the Pipbox years ago. This is a more lightweight lip balm, so this is what I typically like to apply before my lip product if I feel my lips are dry. So this is something that I actually want to store on top of my vanity. I think I am going to put it here with my lipsticks. Then I do have here these Oriflame things. These are kind of like Vaseline type of lip products. And my mother-in-law is like an Oriflame consultant. I'm not really into that whole MLM thing, but she has gifted these to us. I also do have this one. This is another one that I got from the Bip box, and this one is fragranced. I don't really like that. So this one is actually what I'm trying to use for my cuticles. So I will put this one with my nail polishes. And from these I'm going to take the one that is the lowest, and I'm going to put this one to the bathroom with my skincare. And these two I'm going to put there for now. Then I do have this empty tray. Don't know yet if I'm going to use it for my new vanity setup. Now I am going to clean it because it's dirty. Then another thing that needs to be cleaned is this mirror. This is what I use when I do my makeup. This mirror back here I only use for lighting, but I actually like to get super close when I do my makeup, so I use this, but it's dirty and needs to be washed. Over here I do have my lip products. I don't know if I really like the look of this one on top of my vanity because I think it can look like a lot of clutter. However, I think it is handy to have the lip products standing like this. But then I have here this acrylic container. And this one most likely I don't want to anymore have, because these products that I store here I want to have in the makeup bag instead. But there are some that I want to declutter. Well, I will say I'm not decluttering this one because it's my only eyeshadow primer. So this is the Balm Antidotes eyeshadow primer. Can you see how wet and liquidy it is? Like a hydrating primer. This one creases before I even have a chance to set my eyeshadow primer. Today I tried it for a glitter primer and I don't really like it for that either. And once we get to summer, I really need something that holds my eyeshadow better on place because I do have really oily and hooded lids. But now this is the only primer that I have, so I'm going to keep this. I also do have the NYX glitter primer. They're going there. I do have here the Essence Thick and Wow Fixing Brow Mascara. I hate this product. Like these kind of brow gels, they just don't work for me. I don't have so much brow hair that I need something like this. So I have tried to use this here and there, but I feel it ruins my makeup. So I don't want to force myself to use this. So I'm going to declutter this and I will no longer buy any brow gels because they just don't work for me. Instead, I actually do use brow powder. Previously, for the past few years, I have just used brown eyeshadow, but I'm actually out of brown eyeshadow in good color. So I bought from Catherine's their brow powder set. It goes to the makeup bag. Then what else do I have here? Eyeliners. I do have here 3. A black liquid liner. This one is starting to be on its last leg, but it still works. A brown liquid liner. I don't know right now if it's something I really want to have in my collection in future, but now I have it, so I'm trying to figure it out. Then a nude waterline pencil. So they all go to the makeup bag. Then I do have way too many mascaras open at the moment. So I do have 2 that are black, 2 that are brown. Let's start with the black ones. So I do have one that I only use if I wear false lashes. This one is the Catherine's Glam and Doll. It doesn't really do wonders for lashes, but it gives color, so I don't need something super volumizing. When I wear false lashes, recently I have not even worn false lashes because I have liked my looks better without them, but I'm going to keep this one. Then I do have the Bye Bye Panda Eyes mascara from Essence. This one is really nice because it's smudged and sweat proof. It's not my favorite anymore. I don't like black mascara that much anymore. But this one is also kind of like on its last leg, but I will try to get it used up, so it goes to the makeup bag. Then I do have 2 brown mascaras. I first bought the Catherine's Pure Volume mascara, but this is just like the worst mascara that I have ever used. First of all, this is so dark brown that it basically looks like black. But this one is so dry. I don't know if the camera now picks it up, but it's just so dry. And it makes my lashes look like really clumpy, and there are those little dry pumps on my lashes with this mascara. So I'm going to declutter this. I don't want to force myself to use something like this. It's like an expired and dry mascara, even if it's not expired. However, a brown mascara that I do really like is the Essence Lash Without Limits Brown Mascara. If you're looking for a brown mascara that gives length and volume, check this one out. I think it's great. And there's also a black one, but this one is really nice. This one is my brown mascara that I'm using right now. I don't use it every day though, because I'm trying to kind of like go through the black mascaras and save this one for if I want my makeup to look extra nice. So I do have here one pair of false lashes. I do have here a lash glue and then these lash tweezers. I don't use lashes currently really. I'm going to put them away for now. If I wear false lashes now like once a month, I can pull it off from the Vanity drawer where this one will go. Then I do have here this sharpener. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury. I have had it for years and it has stayed nice. Let me just empty this one. Okay, it's emptied right now, so it will go to the makeup bag. Same goes to my lash curler. I do have the Shiseido one. However, I do have a backup pillow for the Shiseido lash curler. You know what? I actually need to change that pillow because it starts to be not that good anymore. Then the last thing in here is a lip brush. I'm going to put this one to my lipstick container. Oh, there is one more thing here. So my brow sharpeners, so they go there. On top of here, I do have scissors and then this comb, and also I do have here my hair brush. Things with sharp ends I do store there so that my daughter, who sometimes sneaks into my room, doesn't get her hands on these. I'm going to put both of them into the makeup bag so that I don't need to worry about her getting into these, but this one in future will not be stored there. Just for now it's going to go there. So yeah, that's everything that is going to the makeup bag. Then the hairbrush actually needs to be clean. Okay, then in here I do still have my palette container. There's all of my eyeshadow palettes and my magnetic palette. Well, the magnetic palette holds one eyeshadow that I'm now going to declutter. I do have here two of the eyeshadows deposited from the KVD Shade and Light Eye Contour palette. One of the shades I think I can finish this year. So there you go, it is a really light peach. This is something that I use now if I go for a peachy eyeshadow look and I want to set my primer, so I do it with this one. And then I'm actually using this one as a blush. For example, today this is the only blush that I have, so this is for sure something that is pretty easy for me to finish. But then there is this another shade that I just do not like. This one is the shade Succubus and it is a really reddish brown. Over there, I have realized that even though I do have really warm undertones to my skin, I am not the biggest fan of really reddish, kind of like burnt toned eyeshadow. I do prefer a warm brown with kind of yellowy undertone instead of the red. And in this palette I also do have the shade My Type that is deposited from the Colourpop I Think I Love You palette. This one I'm working on in my Pantos eyeshadows. It's kind of similar shade, that reddish brown, and in that there is enough of red brown eyeshadow for me, like for the rest of my life. So there is just no need for me to hold on to this single, so this I'm actually going to declutter. But everything else in here I am going to keep. And I'm also going to keep all of my eyeshadow palettes, but I will say that I was going back and forth with this one. This one is the Huda Beauty Gold Obsessions palette. The reason I was going back and forth is that in my opinion, this is not that much of gold. It really is like pinky peachy with a splash of gold. However, I am going to keep this one because I don't have these pinky peachy tones a lot elsewhere in my collection. They are something that I enjoy specifically in springtime, also in summer. So I'm going to keep this one, but it's not my favorite palette by any means, but yeah, I'm going to keep that. This container most likely will go just like this to my new Vanity, but I will probably need to clean it before that.